Om Vakradunda Mahakaya
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय
Surya Koti
सूर्यकोटि
Samaprabha
समप्रभा
Nirvignam
निर्विघ्नं
Kuru
कुरु
Me
मे
Deva
देव सर्वकार्येषु
Sarvakaryeshu
सर्वदा
Sarvada Saraswati
सरस्वति
Namastubhyam
नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे
Varade
कामरूपिणि
Kamarupini
विद्यारम्भं
Vidyarambham Karishyami
करिष्यामि
Siddhir
सिद्धिर्भवतु
Bhavatame
मे सदा
Sada Gurur Brahma
ब्रह्मा
Gurur
गुरु
Vishnu
विष्णुः
Gurur Deva
देवो
Maheshwaraha
महेश्वरः
Guru
गुरु
Sakshat
साक्षात्
Param
परं
Brahmam
ब्रह्म
Tasmai Shri
तस्मै
Gurave
गुरवे नमः।
Namaha Om
ॐ
Sahana
सहना भवतु
Bhavatu
सहनौ
Sahano
भुनक्तु
Bhunaktu
सह वीर्यं
Sahaviryam
करवावहै
Karavavahe
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु वहै।
Tejasvidhavadhitamastamavidvishavahai Om Shanti
ॐ
Shanti
शान्ति
Shanti
शान्तिः।
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
Ath Chaturthodhyayah
अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Ajopi Sanna Vyayatma
अजोऽपि सन्नव्यायात्मा
Bhutanamishvaropi San
भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन्
Prakritim Swamadhisthaya
प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय
Sambhavam
सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया।
Ajaha avyayatma bhutanam ishvaraha agam prakritim adhishtaya sambhavami avit bhavami. I manifest presiding over my maya shakti, wielding my maya shakti. Therefore, mayika shariram, with the mayika shariram, I manifest. And we are discussing 3 degrees of reality. Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam. Is Ishvara Vyavaharikam or Pratibhasika or Paramarthika? The Ishvara Krishna here. Krishna as a Lord. Is he Paramarthikam or Vyavaharikam or Pratibhasika? He cannot be Paramarthikam because Paramarthika is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It is Anantam. It is Purnam, Anantam, complete. It is, when we say Anantam, unlimited cannot have finite form. So Avatara is with a form. So therefore, it cannot be Paramarthika. If it is Paramarthika, then it has to be there all the time. No change. Avyaya Atma, Ajaha, not born. Not born, how can it be? It is born. Avatara is a Janma only, born. Maybe the mode of birth is different. The mode of arrival is different. The mode of descending down to Prithvi is different. But born. Therefore, it cannot be Paramarthikam. Can it be Vyavaharikam? If you say Vyavaharika, Jiva is also Vyavaharika. Jiva is Vyavaharika because yes, Punya Papa, Karma Pala is there, therefore taking Janma and keep taking this Punya Papa. Then Ishvara also will become like a Jiva, having Karma Pala, therefore taking Janma through the womb. He also becomes a Samsari then. Therefore he cannot be Vyavaharika also. Neither Paramarthika nor Vyavaharika. Then what is that Ishvara? It is, this body is Krishna Shariram, the Shariram of the Lord, Krishna Avatara, is neither Paramarthika or it is Vyavaharika. Neither Paramarthika nor Vyavaharika. Then what it is, that is going to be discussed. It is Pratibhasika. Now, the empirical reality of Jiva, we have to understand that, then we understand. And then we understand the reality of the avatara of Krishna. So that we can dismiss it as empirical. Avatara, the Shariram, the Janma of the Ishvara avatara is not empirical. For that, we have to understand the empirical reality of Jiva, Jiva Janma. Arjuna, being a Jiva, was born of karma. Arjuna, a Jiva, a limited individual, born of karma. Even though he was born a prince, he had to go to the forest for 12 years and then live Ajnatavasa incognito for 1 full year, all of which we could attribute to his karma. It's karma, the karma of the Pandavas. They had to go to the forest and live. It is their karma. So everything is its basis on karma. The destiny of Arjuna's eldest brother, Dharmaputra, was also controlled by his Punya Papa, his Punya and Papa. Because of his Papa, he lost the kingdom. Otherwise, the dice that Aksha would have rolled out differently, or he would not have thrown them at all. He would have withheld himself from playing. But out of his karma, Papa karma, he played and he lost everything and had to suffer 12 years in the forest and 1 year incognito. So some prarabdha karma we have to attribute. Otherwise, why should they suffer? Being a follower of Dharma. Therefore, some prarabdha was there for the Pandavas, for him, Yudhishthira and the Pandavas. The Shastra itself talks about different kinds of karma. Prarabdha, Sanchita, Agami, and all we discussed in Sattva. Prarabdha karma, Sanchita karma, Agami karma. So karma is Sanchita karma is those karma which are there in one's account, yet to be experienced. And prarabdha karmas are those karma that out of Sanchita, certain portions manifest in this Janma, in the form of this Janma. That is prarabdha. Agami karmas are the karma which are done in this Janma, whose results will be experienced either in this Janma or it will be added to the Sanchita. These are the different kinds of karma. The karma is there for Jiva. Why? Because Jiva has got Ajnanam, Kartrutvam, therefore karma, karma pala, papa punya, therefore Janma Marana. This is the lot of Jiva. Arjuna was born a person, a Jiva, born of karma. Therefore, his Janma was empirically real, born through the womb of a person, and it is real. He had a parentage, physical body, mind, senses, all of which have an empirical reality, as we have seen. Krishna, on the other hand, as Ishvara, has said that keeping the Maya under his control is born. We shall see. We'll see later why he was born. So not born of karma. Therefore, no punya, no papa for Ishvara. So, but he is born. Then keeping the Maya under his vasha. Prakritim swam adhishtaya. Swam prakritim. Jiva is helplessly born. Ishvara is voluntarily born. Keeping Maya under his control. Now, the reality of Krishna's Janma. The body of anyone who is born is available for our perception. Therefore, it is empirical. Can we say? No, we cannot say like that. Because it is available for perception, therefore, it is empirical. We cannot say. Why? We'll see. Anything which you perceive, because it's available for perception in the Vyavaharika, therefore we cannot say Vyavaharika. It is got Vyavaharika reality, we cannot say. Example, the sky is there. Sky is blue in color. The sky is blue. For me, for you, for all, sky is blue. It is Vyavaharika. That the perception of the color of the sky, the blue, its blueness is Vyavaharika. But if you really analyze, the sky is colorless. That is the truth. Even though the sky is colorless, it appears blue. And the blueness and the blue color sky is available for our transaction, available for our perception, even though that is not true. Similarly, with regard to others also. Because something is available for perception, therefore we cannot say it is empirical. It has got empirical reality. Because the blueness of the sky is not real, it is colorless. So that's what he says. But what is available for a perception is not always totally true. Blue sky, example, yes, the same example. Or a magician's tricks. Therefore, the perceptions cannot be the cause for establishing the empirical reality. Perception cannot establish empirical reality of Krishna's birth. Krishna is born, and perception of Krishna's birth is there for all. Because he is born, perception is there. Can we say Krishna is empirically real? No. Like what? Like that of the sky. Sky is perceived by all as blue, but it is not really blue. Similarly, Krishna is seen as being born, but he is not born. Therefore, Ajaha. So, Drishtanta only we can, we try to understand. That is why the sky example is good. Our magician trick also is good example. If as Ishvara, Krishna is born keeping the Maya under his control, therefore, his birth is definitely not subject to Punya Papa. Maya is under his Vasha. If the person is under Maya's Vasha, then he is subject to Punya Papa. But as Ishvara, as Avatara, Krishna keeps the Maya under his control. Therefore, it's not subject to Punya Papa. No Punya Papa, therefore, his Janma is Eva, as though Pratibhasika, like the sky color, blueness. It is appears. Krishna Janma also is an appearance, not real, not really real, not empirically real. Therefore, being not bound by karma, there's no empirical status. Though perceived by all, it doesn't enjoy empirical status. The Krishna's body, Janma. Birth itself being what it is called, cannot be called Paramarthika. Because it is born, therefore it cannot be Paramarthika. Now Vyavaharika also ruled out. Then what it is? It has to be Pratibhasika. Nor can Krishna's birth be totally existent. You cannot say he did not exist. He is available. He is available. He is doing transaction. He is available. It's not Atyanta Asat. Like he was not a Vandhya Putra, the son of a barren woman. He was born of Devaki. He was born of Devaki and Vasudeva. Therefore, it is not a totally non-existent Krishna. You cannot say non-existent. You cannot say sky is not. The sky is there. Perception is there. In spite of perception, it is not blue. Similarly, in spite of Krishna being there, empirically, but not empirical. And it's not non-existent. Therefore, it was not a totally non-existent Krishna who was talking to Arjuna. That's a problem. Non-existing Krishna talking to Arjuna. Then how are we going to explain the Krishna's birth in terms of reality? With reference to his birth, Krishna is Pratibhasika. You see him, therefore he is. His birth is not due to karma. It is only as though apparent. Eva. Pratibhasika means that there was a Krishna whom everyone saw, with whom everyone transacted, but his birth and his body were purely Maya. Like everything else, they were born of Maya, but without the force of the law of karma. This kind of birth means Ishvara is not condemned to the state of Jivatva. So Jivat is not, it doesn't have Jivatvam. Jivatvam is there only for who is born, who is under the influence of Papa Punya, the Kartarutva, Bhoktarutva, Buddhi. But Ishvara doesn't have. Therefore, he merely assumes a body due to a certain necessity. There is some nimitta, therefore he assumes a particular shariram. Why does Avatara assume a physical body? What is the cause? What is the nimittam? What is that makes it necessary for the Lord to assume a physical body? In the Puranas, it is said that before every incarnation, there's a collective petition. prayer, pratana, samashti pratana, to the Lord in the form of prayers on the part of all the good people and even the devas. Oh Lord, please do something. Please come and remedy the situation. It's time. Time's up. In fact, why haven't you come? The tyranny of these people, the asuras, is too much for us to bear, etc. These prayers themselves become the material cause, upadana karanam, for Ishvara, for the Lord to introduce himself in a particular form, meaning he assumes a particular body. So nimitta karanam, therefore, for the Ishvara Janma is samashti prarthana of the jivas, jivas of the devas. The prayers of the jivas becomes a punyam. The prayer has got phalam, adishtam, punyam. It creates punyam, because of which a particular body is born for a given purpose. The adishtapala, adishtam creates punyam, due to which a body is created. Not because the karma done by the Ishvara. It is the result of the karma of the jiva, which produces a punyam, which is a nimitta for a particular body that the Lord assumes. This incarnation of the Lord is what is meant by avatara. The purpose of avatara is coming maybe just to do one job, like Narsimha Avatara. It's one-time job. He came and did and disappeared. Or Vamana Avatara, that also one job, only one task, or to do many, as was the case with Rama and Krishna. They lived for long, like a human being. They lived. In addition to the many jobs they came to do, Rama and Krishna also served as examples with reference to how people should conduct their lives. Rama was exemplified. How can one live a life of dharma in the face of all adversity? That's how Valmiki has depicted Rama in Valmiki Ramayana as a human being, exalted person, how he conducts his life, following all the virtues, in spite of difficulties he faced in life. And Krishna was an embodiment of joy and wisdom. It should be clearly understood that the concept of avatara is not required at all in order to worship Krishna as the Lord. The picture of Krishna as Ishvara is all that is needed for invoking the Lord. In fact, we can invoke the Lord in anything, even a rock. Invoking the Lord in a particular form and the concept of Ishvara are entirely different. Both are different. The Lord is all pervasive, this Jagat, therefore it can be invoked in any form, in anything. And concept of avatara, that is different. We discuss it here only because the shloka is referring to Krishna as avatara. That is why for Advaitin, this avatara doesn't not that much fascinating, because Bhagavan can be invoked in anything. In Krishna also. Therefore, when we invoke is the Lord. So therefore, the avatara doesn't fascinate them. And here Krishna is avatara, because it is referred to the shloka. Krishna himself says, by my own powers of Maya, I as though assume a body. So Shankaracharya says in his commentary to the shloka, while explaining how Ishvara assumes a body, Degavan iva, Degavan, as Dega asyastiti Degavat, Degavan, the one who has a body, not really, iva, as though. Jataha iva, as though born, not really born, as though born. The word iva, as though, in the Acharya's commentary, indicates that there can be no empirical reality. Empiricality here, because Krishna's Janma was not born of Papa and Punya. If there were Papa and Punya for Ishvara, then he would not be Ishvara at all, because like Jiva is also subject to Papa Punya. Therefore, when Ishvara assumes a body, he is only as though born. He has a body, but his body has no empiricality, because it was not born out of Papa Punya. If there were Papa Punya, if there were Papa Punya for Ishvara, then we would have the problem of Ishvara with limitations to Antakarnam, which is not acceptable. If Ishvara has got Papa Punya, then his Antakarnam is subject to limitation. He cannot be Sarvajnaha, cannot be all knowledge. So all those problems will come. Therefore, As we have seen that it is not possible because Ishvara is all knowledge. Therefore, Krishna tells Arjuna, without Papa Punya, I am born. So, which is the very concept of Avatara. Then in the next shloka, Krishna says here, Krishna is the Lord, he says, why he assumes a body? What is the nimitta? What causes Bhagavan to come down in this form? Let us read this shloka, famous shloka. This shloka as well as the following shloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
Yada yada hi, whenever dharmasya glanihi, when there is declension of dharma, glanihi, glaidatu, glanihi, dharma declines, dharma goes down. Abhyuttanam adharmasya, when adharma increases, adharmasya abhyuttanam bhavati. Dharmasya glanihi bhavati, adharmasya abhyuttanam bhavati, increase of adharma. Abhi plus ut, ut means increase, rise. When adharma increases, dharma decreases. Then Atmanam Sujam Yaham, I incarnate myself. So Bhagavan doesn't require anyone else to create him. He incarnates himself. He presents himself in the form of the shariram, which is required in keeping with that situation, in that context. The shariram, in keeping with the demand of the jivas. So, O Arjuna, whenever there is a decline in right living, dharma is right living, achara, anushtana, and increasing wrong living everywhere, then I bring myself into being, assume a physical body. We saw in the previous shloka that Krishna's birth represented the concept of avatara. Even though he is unborn, ajaha, even though not subject to death, avyayaha, there being no birth or death for Atma, even though he is Ishvara, the Lord of the entire creation, still, by the powers of his Maya, Krishna was as though born, Iva Jataha, without being subject to his own dharma, nadharma, papa, punya, he was as though born in a particular form. That is Avatara. The creation is Ishvara's form, and in that creation, jivas are born. So, from the standpoint of consciousness, Chaitanyam, there is only one Atma, Paramatma. Therefore, the consciousness, the Chaitanya being one, each jiva is Paramatma only, because Chaitanya is only one. All jivas are consciousness, Atma, and Paramatma is Atma. Therefore, jiva is Paramatma only, Brahma only. From the standpoint of someone who is looking at the world, however, the one becomes a many, there is difference between jiva and Ishvara. From the standpoint of someone who is looking at the world, from the standpoint of consciousness, from the standpoint of Chaitanya, it is only one Paramatma. Whereas from the standpoint of someone who is looking at the world, however, the one becomes the many. Therefore, there is a difference between Jiva and Ishvara. So, therefore, the difference is there or not there between Jiva and Ishvara? The answer is both yes and no. That is, from which standpoint we talk about. With reference to the standpoint of Atma, there is no difference. But with reference to the Srishti, there is a difference. With reference to the Srishti meaning, with reference to the people, the created Jagat, there is a difference because Jivas are there. So there must be a creator. The creator is Ishvara. So therefore, Ishvara is a lawmaker, lawgiver, and all the Jivas obey the law. Therefore, there is a difference. No difference, at the same time difference. Jiva is a person who looks upon himself or herself as a physical body, mind, and senses, karya karna sangata, due to ajnanam. And because of this ajnanam, the jiva continues to be born as jiva, whereas Ishvara doesn't have. Therefore, out of ignorance, a person continues to perform actions which produce papa punya that result in another birth. This, of course, is from a particular point of view. Now, as a jiva, you look at the world and at yourself, seeing differences where there is none. This is a standpoint from which all discussion, argument takes place. The standpoint of Vyavahara, empirical reality, not Paramarthika. So when the Jiva looks at the world, you look at the world and at yourself. Seeing differences, there is none. Everything is Atma, therefore Atma, Paramatma is Brahma. There is no difference. But differences are there. Seeing differences where there is none, he sees the differences. That is the different, that different vision, that vision which in which there is a difference. That is the standpoint, what we call Vyavaharika, empirical reality. Therefore, for Jiva, there is empirical reality. For Jiva, therefore, there is empirical reality, not Paramarthika. So, this is the standpoint from which the discussion, the argument takes place, not Paramarthika. Therefore, we say that Jiva is one who is born because of the karma, whereas Avatara is one who is not born because of karma. Otherwise, Avatara also will be a karta. He's become a doer and would have avidya. If this were the case, then Avatar also would be a Jiva and not Ishvara. This then there is a difference between Jiva's birth and Ishvara's birth. That is why Ishvara Janma and Jiva Janma, there is a difference. So this must be clear. Then the whole creation is Ishvara, and when Ishvara assumes a particular form for a given purpose at a given time, we shall call that form an avatara. The concept of avatara is not mentioned in the Veda. Yeah, this is what I told. It's not in the Veda, it is only in Gita, it is said. Although devas or gods are referred to, Rama and Krishna are presented as avatars in the Purana. But for our main purposes here, it doesn't matter whether Vyasa put the wisdom in Krishna's mouth or whether he wrote when he wrote the Mahabharata or historical Krishna did the talking. Okay, I think we'll stop here. This is to be discussed. We'll do it next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Yoga Hari Om.
Dhanyavadaha.
Yes, Dhanyavadaha.